Howdy. Well, you may notice I'm wearing a heavy woolen hoodie. That's because it's bloody cold here at the moment. The rest of America has got a heat wave going, but up here in western Oregon, it's raining buckets outside, and it was bloody cold when I woke up this morning. It's just typical at this time of year. We only have a slight window of actual heat during the summer. The rest of the time it's just wet and cold. And the one thing that is common in Oregon is wet. More so in Washington, but Oregon gets its fair share. Anyway, I had some chores planned outside. I couldn't do them today because it's still raining. So I decided, what the heck, I'd just sit in here and look at some guns and think about it. As long as I'm sitting around and thinking about guns, I thought I'd talk about them. Okay, take a look up there. Do you see that? That's my Craig Jorgensen. That's the standard issue rifle in 1898 of the U.S. Army. That was the rifle of the Spanish-American War, and my great-granddad was in the Spanish-American War, which is why I've got it. And it's sort of a family heirloom. That's why it's sitting up there and not elsewhere in the room, because, it's a family heirloom, dang it. All the rest of these are just fun. That one goes, well, all of these get passed down, but that one is sacred to the family. That and my great-granddad's revolver. Anyway, up here, this whole row here, starting at the top, that's an 1895 Winchester lever action in 30-40 Craig. The next one down is an 1897 Winchester pump action 12 gauge. That was called the trench broom in World War I. And it was very well favored by the Americans, not so much by the Germans. The next one down is a 1917 Enfield. It was a sporterized one I got a stock for and rebuilt to make it factory spec. It's an interesting sort of rifle, and it works. Next is a Springfield 1865, I think. Or 1862, I forget. I have to look at the lock plate and see. It's a Springfield rifled muzzleloader from the Civil War, and that is an original. The next is an 1873 trapdoor Springfield, though this is, I think, about 1887 or so pattern. By the way, you see the barrel underneath it there? That's also from a trapdoor Springfield. It was in a fire, and the stock was burned up, and a lot of the other miscellaneous parts were either lost or, well, I have some parts, but I don't have them all, and I don't have a stock yet. I'd like to get a trapdoor stock. The next one down is a Allen conversion, 1865, I do believe. Let me see if I can, there. It's an Allen conversion, 1865. Bannerman was trying to sell these. He had thousands of them after the Civil War. So he had chopped off the stock on this one, and I think the next step was going to be chop down the barrel a bit. His workmen were working on it, but I don't know why. This one ended up not being chopped on the barrel. It's just chopped on the stock. I think I know why, actually, because if you look at the wrist on that stock, it's cracked. So I think they gave up on this one and threw it over into the junk pile. And it ended up here and there, and I've got it now. But that is an Allen conversion 5070. The next one down is a World War II 1903 A3 that unfortunately has been sporterized. I've got my name on a list of when they come in available, please let me know at Sarco, because I really want a stock for it to set this back to factory original, just like I did the 1917. Underneath that is an Austin and Halleck flintlock 50 cal. That's actually a civilian gun, but hey, it's American. It's made in Provo, Utah, and it's absolutely beautiful. If you look at that curly maple stock, it's just gorgeous. Next one down is also not a commercial rifle, not a military. That's a Remington model I don't know what it is. It's a Model 24. I don't know what year it is. 1920s of some kind. It's in 25 Remington. a totally obsolete cartridge you can't even find anymore. There are a few pieces of brass available out there. Anyway, this is my collection of mostly military rifles of the Americans, with one exception, the trapdoor, the Craig Jorgensen up there. But it's going to stay separate because, well, it's a family heirloom. Anyway, that's just what I'm looking at. You know, I could go through. I mean, I've got all the guns on that Lazy Susan over there. The wall's full of them. The wall behind me is full of them. And the wall to my right is also full of them. Well, that's mainly revolvers. But I got quite a number over here, too. The ones on this Lazy Susan are mainly air guns and cap and ball. But, and the ones up there are flintlock and, well, that's an Italian Vetterli. But anyway, that was a discussion of, that's a discussion of American military or martial rifles used in various wars. You know, Yamamoto was right. A rifle behind every blade of grass. Happy trails, guys.